Transport Systems Limited earnings conference call for the second quarter and half year ended 30th September 2021. Would like to begin my express gratitude to you for all taking the time to join us today. On call with me, Mr. Makarand Pradhan, who is the Managing Director of the company, Mr. Sanjeev Potnis, another Director of the company, Mr. Kaushal Buch, who is the CEO of the company, and Mrs. Anushree Kore, she is the General Manager of Finance and Accounts, and of course, Ms. Savli, who is from the Breach IR, our Investor Relation team. Since this is a maiden earnings conference call, I would like to share a brief overview of our company and its recent development before we get into the business and financial performance. We started business way back in 1994 at Total Transport and now Total Transport System Limited is a well-established company in India's cargo, freight forwarding and logistics market. Through a robust network of international partners worldwide, the company has made a strong foothold in the logistics market in India. TTSL specializes in logistics business, keeping a focus on our core business activity, namely consolidation of export cargo, which is well known as the LCL shipment, deconsolidation of import cargoes, full container loads, and air freight from India to worldwide destinations. As a non-vessel operating common carrier, which is called NVOCC, the company's consolidation shipping is rated among the top customers of almost all leading shipping lines operating within this region. The reputation has ensured the company's competitive rates and space with the major liners for the consolidation shipments on a regular basis. The company is specialized in the business of the air freight, FCL, LCL, both imports as well as exports. TTSL has substantial market share in India's LCL segment, which is close to around 12%, and company is one of the market leader in cargo consolidation. In addition to these services, Total continues to focus on timely delivery, diversification of service portfolios like some custom clearance, transportation, and all allied services, sustain a long-term relationship with the client, and extending the value-added services over and above our normal logistics business. The company is equipped with the multimodal transport operator license from the Government of India Ministry of Shipping. It also registered with the Federal Maritime Commission, which is called FMC in the USA, which is known as the FMC license. This license helps companies scale new business and geographies. The efforts have enabled the company win long-running contracts as well as more shipments in the industry as among the best groupage traffic in and out from India. Moreover, the company is positioned in leverage the changing trends in the logistics industry, because widely now we are into more on the support from the software support, offering various products to our esteemed customers like app, then regularizing their shipment reports every now and then. And it's almost, we are representing the 5th largest consolidator network, iCargo Alliance, having 166 offices in 89 countries. Company has another subsidiary which is called One World Logistics Private Limited, and which is popularly known brand name as Abhilaya. Is a established company in Indian logistics industry, mainly in the last mile delivery. Through a robust network and wide geographical reach, we have its presence in more than 12 states across India. The company has built a sustainable growing logistics business of last mile delivery. One World is a thorough and well-structured corporate governance and management structure with senior management through managers, supervisors, delivery associates. The company caters to a wide range of business across India. Since October 2018, the company started last mile delivery with Amazon, Flipkart, FedEx, SpiceJet, and JioMart. Very soon we are extending our services to another e-commerce platform companies. We have a various services offering in this last mile, like the same day delivery, rural mile in delivery in the stations of tier 2, tier 1, tier 3 cities in India, e-commerce support to our customers, rural B2B and whatnot. The company's wide reach and superior logistic capabilities helps it to provide end-to-end services. Such expertise and superior quality of services has led increase in the confidence in our clients. I just want to update you with our recent development. For the TTSL, our company has bagged a huge contract from the Argentina for freight forwarding. Is one of the Argentina's largest industrial company, and it is a 4,000 tons cargo which is moving from various Indian ports. So this contract for next 18 months is we got it from various Indian ports to Argentina. We also being awarded as LCL Consolidated of the Year Exports award from the Daily Shipping Times, which is esteemed magazine in the shipping industry. And again, the LCL Consolidated of the Year award in Gujarat Junction, which is among the most coveted logistics awards in Gujarat. For the One World, we had signed a contract with Tata Click as well as Snapdeal in this last month for the last mile delivery business for the movement of their shipments from their warehouses to the consignee doorstep, and we are going to spread it on the pan-India basis soon. We'll be covering more than 1,000 pin codes in coming next 5 to 6 months. I'm also happy to share that recently we got the 50 new stations from Flipkart, named as ODH, which is Outsourced Delivery Hub, and which we offer the total solutions to Flipkart, having 331 pin codes across 12 states in India, and our shipment counts is almost 85,000 shipments per day. Now, turning to the financial performances for the second quarter for the financial year 2022, we reported rupees 138.80 crores in revenue during financial year 22, 114.64% year-on-year rise. Increased liner freight rates as well as margins and more focus on the FCL, that is full load container business, compared to quarter 2 in financial year 2021 resulted in a higher growth in the revenues. Our EBITDA margin for the last quarter stands to 4.2 crores, increasing 20.79% year-on-year. Increase in EBITDA mainly due to the volume boost, revenue build-up is equivalent compared to the quarter 2 of financial year 21. The operating cost too got optimized during this increased volume. EBITDA margin is 3.03% as compared to the 5.38% in quarter 2 in financial year 21. Our net profit during this quarter is 2.25 crores as against 2.71 crores in the second quarter of financial year 21. Net profit margin stood at 1.62%. EPS for this quarter is rupees 1.58. Half yearly for the financial year 2022, we reported 241.51 crores in revenues during the financial year 2022, a 76.30% year-on-year in rise. Growth has driven is mainly because of the high freight rates as well as increase in our FCL and LCL volumes too. Our EBITDA margin for the period stands 8.11 crores, increasing 835.71% on year-on basis. Increase in EBITDA mainly due to the good boost in the revenue built-up is evident compared to the quarter 2 of financial year 21. Freight rates has increase in the freight rates has resulted in increase in our selling rate, and the operating costs too got optimized due to the high volumes and competitive operations. EBITDA margins is 3.36% and improvement of 416 bps. Our net profit during this half year is rupees 4.68 crores as against a loss of 2.84 crores in the first half of financial year 2021. Net profit margins stood at 1.94%, up by 401 BPS. EPS for this period is 3.28. This is all from my side, and we are now open to take any questions and answers. The forum is open to ask us any questions or any clarity they needed from our side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sudhir B. from Right Time Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir, and hearty congratulations on a very good set of numbers, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, my questions are like, if you see the Q2 revenue has grown up substantially, but EBITDA margin has gone down even compared to Q-on-Q or even compared to Y-on-Y basis. So what are the reason and what is the outlook in respect of second half of this current fiscal in terms of volume, top line and margin growth, if you can shed light on this?
Thank you for your question, sir. This revenue has gone up mainly because of the very freight rates has been increased by the shipping lines in a multifold. So that's how we had no other option but to increase our selling rate in the both LCL plus SPL. At the same time, our EBITDA margin has we need to take it up the cost of this high freight rate, other allied costs. So that's how you see that there is some EBITDA margin has little drop by compared to the last year. But we are very optimistic, and the next 6 months the volumes looks very promising, and we'll be having more than I believe the same results should be developed for the next 6 months because volumes are coming up and we are taking more and more new customers. So next 6 months is promising for us now.
So margin also will go up correspondingly?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. And that Argentina order you have talked about in your press release and your commentary, what is the amount that this order carries for the next 18 months? You have given the tonnage, but then how it will result in the increase in our top line?
This contract is being handled by other director of the company, Mr. Sanjeev Potes. I think he will be the right person to comment on this, sir. Mr. Sanjeev.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, can you just repeat the question there? It was a little garbled at the end.
Yeah, see, new order which you have got from the Argentina, that is supply of 4,000 MT per month.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
What is the amount, if you can quantify it?
I think the billing should be close to about at least $350,000 to $400,000 approximately per month. That is how much the revenue would be for this thing to add. So that's about close to about 2.5 crores, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Great, sir. And sir, lastly, if you can throw light on the growth of your Abhyuday One World Logistics venture, which you have started 2 years back, and now it is growing well. So if you can throw light on it, on the growth path and growth trajectory going forward.
Yes, sir. This concept of last mile delivery business model we started 2 years back. And with the good team, what we got, it's really developed a multifold in last 2.5 years. Now we started with 30,000 shipments a month, and today we have reached to the last Diwali we did the 3 million shipments a month.
Okay.
Our major principals are Amazon and Flipkart and Jio for we are doing at the moment. But as I said, we had already signed this agreements with Snapdeal as well as with Tata Click for the various other cities and pin codes. So our entire focus is that presently we are handling close to 292 pin codes in 14 states of the India, and our capacity is to handle more than 4,000 pin codes with this marginal increase maybe by 20% in our indirect cost. But this requires some funding or some money to be invested in this business, which we are now looking for, or we're trying to approach with some private equity fund managers if they have some interest to participate in our growth story. Abhilaya, which is the app, we will be developing the app under process, and which we connect into second stage is to connect into another 3PL model, third-party logistics. And further step is we may enter into the hyper-local market. So these are the plans for the next coming 2 to 3 years. But we need to get some round of funding from some good people, which will give a good boost to increase our entire business in this industry.
Right now we have, I think, around, as per your investor presentation, 60 centers SP. So, sorry, 70 SP. So, what are the plan to scale up in the next year, FY23?
70 SPs are normally with the Amazon, and Amazon now after this Diwali till December they will open up some centers, which we are likely to get maybe another 8 to 10 centers on pan-India basis.
So you are looking at maybe 100 SPs.
Yeah, but it mainly depend on somebody has to vacate or Amazon also has to create another center in different locations. So once we come to know their plans, then we can request them to give us some few centers. But our entire plan is to reach up to 100 centers, probably by end of this financial year or early next year.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity, sir, and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your best wishes.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohan Mehta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations on a good quarter. Sir, I just had a few questions. Firstly, One World Logistics, since it's one of our new segments, just wanted to ask your views about what the future growth plans might be around One World Logistics and how it can be contributing to the business.
So as you now already mentioned that we are majorly now in the last mile delivery business under One World. With this having some funds availability, we'll be getting into more 3PL business activity, which is third-party logistics, warehousing and distribution and transportation. Next step will be we'll be focusing certain cities where we do hyper-local activity, which we sell this grocery, then pharma, then other day-to-day requirements within a radius of 5 to 7 kilometers. So these are the three business activity which we have planned. And furthermore, once we create some more data about with more exporters side or importer side, which we can connect or which we are planning to connect the same activity into our traditional shipping and freight forwarding industry. So the entire plan is to pick up the cargo from the shipper warehouse, move it to the port, arrange for the clearances, ship out to the destination, do the clearance there, and deliver it to the final consignee. So these are our business model which we are going to focus in coming years.
Okay, sir. So by when would the synergy from this from One World start showing at the profit levels in our total business, sir?
The profit margin in this last mile delivery business is very thin, but we need to achieve certain volumes to generate certain profits. Once we, I believe, cross more than 5 million shipments, I think we should have some decent profitability at the PBT level. And these other allied activities which we have planned, like 3PL or transportation, it should give the more boost to our traditional business in total transport.
Okay, sir. So, sir, for the last mile delivery, would the company have a separate team dedicated for that, or would it be managed by the same existing team? I mean, how would we target or strike a deal with the potential partners?
So we have a total dedicated team of almost 32 people, and we have a CEO and other down below. The entire organization structure is there. How do we approach the customers is now, since we have been with Amazon, Flipkart for past 2.5 years. So we have been ranked one of the top performer with them. Our average performance comes to 97% with their statistics, which is supposed to be the best in the industry. So that's how the whole entry into their other entities like Snapdeal, or maybe other companies like Bewgroup.com or Purple, or even we had some good opening up with the Tata Click. So they are also trying to run on last mile delivery on some pilot run in different cities. So it's like word is spreading for our services with the known resource service with the known people. That's how we are getting an opportunity to get more business.
Okay, I see, sir. And sir, CP World, I believe, is another subsidiary. So what is CP World's contribution to the total business? I mean, what share of revenue would CP World be contributing to the total revenue?
So CP World is a subsidiary of Total Transport, but since last 2 years, we are not doing any business in the CP World. We had one shipper, one of the biggest shipper account before pandemic we used to carry. But since this corona and lockdown started, they have stopped their exports. Subsequently, we are not doing any business now in past 1.5 to 2 years in CP World. Our entire focus and entire business activity all in Total Transport and last mile delivery in One World.
I see, sir. So, and sir, out of the 70 odd SPs that we have, how many would be on rent, and how many are owned by the company?
So these all warehouses, what we do for Amazon and Flipkart, the entire things are on the rented basis. We believe in the asset light model. So we hire the small warehouse ranging between 300 square foot to 1,000 plus square feet in a location suggested by the principals Amazon, Flipkart. And wherever the entire load comes every day to that business premises, and after getting sorted out and doing all this labeling, marking, we deliver to the consignee's doorstep every day. So we don't go in for buying our own warehouses or this thing. This is entirely asset light model.
Fair enough, sir. So just you spoke earlier about the other costs and freight costs which impacted our EBITDA level margins. So do you expect the similar kind of cost in the next half year also, and maybe the next year? What would be your guidance on the top line and EBITDA level margins for the full year and the next year, sir?
So the cost is now more or less it is stagnant now. It is not being going up or coming, except the major freight rates, which is playing the huge role in our business. So we expect to double up our turnover by end of this financial year, and subsequently we entire management team and our CEO is working on some big contracts with some corporate companies. And hopefully, if we happen to get that, then next year should be another beautiful year for us.
Right, definitely. Because already in H1 we see that total expense, if we see as a percent of sales, they have decreased slightly. So it's already, going down. So any measures are being taken for that, or is it economies of scale kicking in wherein revenues increase? So in general, expense as a percentage of sales reduces.
So in general, the expenses towards the sales has reduced because of the lockdown. People are not able to move out. So subsequently, you can save on the other cost of the operation.
I see. Got it, sir. Just my last question. Working capital also has improved a fair bit, sir, between March and September. So that also have any measures specifically been taken, and what can we expect similar level of working capital days for the next half year as well?
So mainly because when the corona thing started way back in 2020 March, and subsequently government declared the lockdown, we entire management and our key personnel has decided that we should be very strict on the credit terms and credit term line with the customers, because it was a great fear in everybody's mind, and you never know what is going to happen. So we have to have our own what was outstanding in the market, we have to recover it in the past. So this was a very thoughtful and decision taken by our entire team, and we become very strict on the credit lines
Okay.
Whenever the credit terms or credit days over, unless we get the money, we are taking some steps to hold on the shipment and all. But subsequently, the customers also, they've been realized that unless they pay the money, and we cannot move their cargoes to the entire industry. So with this kind of action by thoughtful action by our team, management team, and supported by our entire marketing people on Pan India, which has helped us to improvisation in our working capital. That's how our working capital number of days has been drastically dropped by almost 20 to 25%.
Right.
Which is a very good sign. We don't have to go to the bank or anybody. We didn't ask for any interest waivers request to bank, and we could manage our cash flow very well.
Okay. Indeed, sir. That is great, sir. And so lastly, sir, which would be our top, say, 3 or 4 top clients that are fetching revenues for us, like in terms of revenue, which are our top 3-4 clients, if you could let us know?
So we have some more than 15 to 20 customers who are giving us talk to this thing. I can send you the mail if you wish to, and explaining all the details. Which are the customers who are carrying the cargoes.
Sure, sir. All right. Okay, sir. That's all from my end. I'll rejoin if I have any more questions. And thank you so much, and all the best, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Aniket Redkar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir, and congratulations on the good set of numbers. I have a couple of questions, sir. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, as you can see, there is an increase in the fixed asset by the 15 lakhs. So, has there been any additional purchase of an asset?
Yes, sir. There is an additional purchase in the asset. We have bought another 2 trailers, which we use by our transportation of our empty containers. Furthermore, we are in the process of buying continuously some containers, which we run between our short haul, which is Nhava Sheva, Dubai, back, or even Nhava Sheva, Singapore, and back. So that's how the whole asset building is happening now. And if you see, the total asset purchase is almost 55 lakhs what we did, and the reduction of assets by 7 lakhs and depreciation calculated on WDV method on the basis of that 33 lakhs. So the net impact of 15 lakhs has been showing in the balance sheet.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Sir, despite the increase in the short-term and the long-term borrowing, our interest cost has reduced. So, what basically the main reason?
The main reason is that we had a very good recovery, which helped us a lot of improvisation in the cash flow. Our credit line has reduced for almost 18 to 20 days, which earlier was almost 70 days. Now we are not going beyond 48 to 50 days. So this improvisation on these terms and strict on the credit has improved our cash flow as well as which help us a lot in the working capital. And with this kind of funds availability in our current accounts, our CC limit what we have from the bank has been unutilized for some time. So we could save some money on our interest part.
Okay. Okay. Sir, short-term provision also increased by 5 crores from March 21st to this September end. So what led to this increase?
This is pure, actually MIS provision, which depends on the job, individual jobs and cost books in the next month, which we consider in the provision.
Okay. 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 Sir, as you declare a dividend this quarter, so do we now have any dividend policy in place, or do we plan to distribute regular dividend from this quarter?
So I believe you must be aware we have declared the dividend already in this year. I hope you are aware, sir.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we declared the dividend, and our entire management and core team is very delighted that we could do something and pay back something to our esteemed investors. So after taking the first step, we are in the process of setting up some policy to how do we tackle with the coming years on the dividend. So very soon we will finalize on our dividend policy. And once it's done, sir, we definitely will be sharing you in some time.
Okay. Okay. So, as we bag a huge contract from Argentina for freight forwarding, right?
Right, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So, has there any other contract also in pipeline, or any other opportunity you looking in coming quarters?
Yes, our CEO and the entire marketing team is working on the 2 power projects to be shipped to Saudi Arabia, and one is to Brazil. So that's entire process is on, and negotiations is going on with the customers. So very soon, probably we should get this. Get these contracts.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So just wanted to understand, you mentioned that you are looking at doubling the revenue base. So what is the in FY22? So what did it exactly mean? FY22 revenue doubling over FY21? Is that what you are implying?
Basically, doubling of revenue has become the higher freight rates, which is being the freight rates, which is most of the shipping lines has increased in multiple fold, has pushed us to increase our selling rate both as LCL plus full load container freight forwarding business. So that is one of the major thing which has happened. Subsequently, we had increased our full load container business module. So with high freight rates and more the number of shipments has resulted as to more revenues, and our turnover has gone up to almost double the size.
Yeah, double the size, and this is what you expect to continue, right? Like, for example, FY21, we did about 300 crores of top line. Now, because of all these changes in the higher freight and volume, you're expecting 600 crores top line FY22. Is that right?
I believe with God's grace and everybody's support and the market movements, we should be touching close to our entire with consolidated turnover should be between around 500 crores.
Okay. Okay, understood. And sir, when are we expecting to get some operating leverage advantage? Because as your volume increases, your margins at low single digit is still at a lower end of the industry level, right? So do you expect that anytime soon, or maybe in? So what's the vision on that? Any kind of double digit kind of EBITDA margin that we can achieve because of the advantage we might get because of operating leverage as we scale up the operations?
So basically, the entire shipping industry, of course, leave apart the shipping lines, major one. If you see the entire freight forwarding and the logistics industry and the players for the LCL consolidation and deconsolidation, the whole industry players works around margin levels between 4% to 6%. With these higher freight rates and higher margins in various destinations or some other routes has helped us to the increase in our margin close to more than around 8% or 9%. As everybody is trying to push it for the double digit, but it's very hard to go in for a double digit is because the entire industry norms is, I won't say, but it's almost 10% is the maximum what can be achieved. But on the other hand, when we are achieving the higher turnover, the same margin levels will give the bigger PBT numbers or PAT numbers. So at the bottom line, we have quite solid figures coming up.
Yeah. That is a fair point. But in terms of EBITDA margin, this 3 to 4% EBITDA margin is what is sustainable in our kind of business, right?
Yeah, this is service industry, sir. So very hard to move it to the further more than 10%.
Fair enough. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sudhir B from Right Time Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity again. Just wanted one little bit of clarification. When we will be reaching our pre-COVID level of 5% EBITDA? If you see, we were clocking 5% in 2018-19. So I believe this should be our aspiration margin, so EBITDA. So do you expect it to clock in the second half of the current year, this kind of margin?
Margins?
Yeah. See, 2018-19, so pre-COVID, we were clocking around 5% EBITDA margin. So in the second half of the current year, will you be able to reach to that 5% level?
I think so, sir. We should be able to reach.
Oh, great. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Sreekanth Nebande for closing comments.
Yes. I thank you for entire team of TTSL, our CEO, General Manager Finance, Ms. Anushree, for untiring efforts, hard work and dedication, and other team members, which drives the company forward through various market conditions. I also appreciate all of you for participating in this conference call. Please do get in touch with us for any other clarification if you need. And our investor relation team, Bridge IR, is always there to guide you or open up a dialogue with us. Thank you very much again for your time and support.
Thank you.